Morning guys, right, so you join us today and got a right treat for you today. We're going to go and play Littlestone. So I used to be a member at Littlestone as well during my junior years, and it's fantastic, beautiful links golf course. So join us for the ride.
Right, so the first hole is a drivable par 4, 300 yards off all tees, as you can see. And there's a little bit of trouble on the fairway in the laying up spots, but by the green there's a huge dip here with some bunkers, and it slopes away from the right and left with rough around there as well. So I elect not to go for it, but this is a nice gentle hole to let you ease you into the round essentially.
I think we're going to have a silent movie today, but beautiful golf course.
Right, so I'm doing voiceovers for this because it was too windy. Didn't get off to a good start because Dad missed a shot on the recording, so I just had a short wedge up. This one for birdie, and the greens caught me by surprise. They were very, very quick. Rolling beautifully, I was very, very impressed. Didn't get a chance to do any practice putting or actually hit any shots before I went out on this one. So I've got now about 5-footer to save my par, which I'm very happy that it's rolled in. The second hole at Littlestone is a longer par 4, still plays around 400 yards, so you normally lay up short of the ditch that is coming up here. And it's a semi-blind green, so they've got a great big mound with just a walkway through it. Now, it used to be completely covered so you couldn't see what you're doing. I think they've made the right change and allowing you to see the green, and it's quite slopey, this green, as far as I know. And I've elected a 2-iron off the tee. The wind's already messing with my hair. Four. Yep, that one's going right. I was trying to draw it. I actually hit it pretty nicely, but the wind didn't bring it back for me. So I've had to hack it out of the rubbish with a 58. Third shot went missing again. Dad needs further training. But I've hit it to here, so I've got this one for my 4th shot. Pins at the back. You can see the flag is moving from right to left. Hit a pretty good shot. It did get caught in the wind though. It's left me with this dreadful downhill left to righter. Got my shirt, it's proper blowy. And it looked good, and it's just lipped out, so unfortunately double bogey. Third hole is a blind tee shot. It does have some marker posts that you can aim at, so at least you've got some kind of idea of what you're doing. There's some trouble on the left with these bunkers, and then it'll leave you a shorter club in, maybe a 9-iron wedge, something like that. And again, it's a long green. It's really thin, but it is long, so you've got to make sure your distance control is on point. So while Dad went look out, I've opted with a 3-wood. Look at that sky, beautiful. Hit that one really nicely. You can see it's just drawing down there, off with the wind. A little concerned it was going a little bit left. And another shot bit the dust, unfortunately. But I went in with a wedge in the end. And I was on it was good distance control, a little bit left of the pin. So I had this one for my birdie. And it does hit the hole, but I wasn't expecting to hold it from there. And I'll just tap this one in for my par. So off to the 4th. This is a really long par 4. It's quite narrow. The rough up and down the right and left hand side is long. So you want to make sure you're not in any trouble there. So the wind will be coming left to right as we're playing this. And leave you a lengthy shot in. It all slopes away around the green. You've got that bunker on the right hand side as well. So again, opting with 3-wood. And that was scabby. I know I tried to make it look like it wasn't that bad, but that was really bad. So I'm pretty sure I'm going in with a 9-iron here. Luckily I kept it under the wind with my drive. Just played a nice smooth one in. Try and take the side spin off of it. And it's gone right up by the pin. It looked like it was going to go in at one stage and then rolled all the way back down and off the green here. So I've got a tricky putt up the hill. And it was tracking on line just a little bit short. And I do finish it off even though the camera angle doesn't look like it. So par 5, first of the par 5s. There's 3 on this course. And a lot of trouble in the driving area. So you got 1 bunker, 2 bunkers down the right hand side. And then these bunkers that you can see in the screen are drivable. It is reachable into this, depending on the wind. It was reachable today. And you've got this bank in here, that was to save the green because it was moving all over the place. So you don't want to be missing it right because it makes for a difficult chip. We were actually being let through here, so I was quite rushed, if I'm honest. And that's drawing quite a long way left. But it was safe. And again, just rushing. I've got 4-iron here. I'm just going to bunt this down. Didn't want to do anything too daft and lose a ball, especially when we're being played through. Now I tried to do something linksy here, so a little bump and run with the 9-iron, and completely messed it up. Hit it way too hard. And it's run all the way back through the green. See, I'm under pressure, getting my steps in. I've got 58 here. I'm just going to chip this back up the green. Learn my lesson from the second, where the wind does take it. I played it pretty nicely, but it's ran on a bit more than I would like. Didn't bother with the putter, and I'm not going to give myself a penalty shot for holding it while the flag's still in. So this is a very difficult par 3. It was actually, when they redone the stroke indexes, they found out that this was the second hardest hole on the golf course behind the 16th. And it's not overly long at 160, but this flyover doesn't give it justice. It's just how steep the banking is around here. So it's green or you are miles away. And when the wind is up, you really are in trouble. So I'm going in with a chippy 7-iron here. So you can see in ball position slightly back. Just a short swing, just trying to keep it under the wind. And it was safely on the green, but miles away. So I hit my putt, long birdie putt, completely misread it. I mean, not even close. It's not even stayed in the camera shot. That was terrible. You see, look at that flag. It's giving it what for? That's links golf. It's the defence of the golf course. Again, terrible angle shot here. I've got about 9 feet for my par, and again, didn't even look like it was going in. So 3-putt bogey, slightly uncharacteristic of moi, but at the end of the day, got off with a 4 worst case scenario. So second par 5, they come in quick succession here. Again, it's all trouble down the left, all trouble down the right. This ridge is not in play with driver, unless it is severely downwind. I have hit it in there before, but didn't happen today. And bunkers in the layup area. And again, the green is kind of square looking, and it's easily missed both sides with the sloping. So I went for a nice slow-mo shot here. Don't know why, I'm not very happy with my golf swing at the moment. And just nudging this down the right-hand side. With 3-wood off the tee, it was never going to be reachable in 2 today. So I've gone with a 5-iron for my second shot. Just going to try and lay up short of those bunkers. And I'm going straight at them. Straight at it. You can see me, I'm watching it down, getting kind of nervous at it. But it is above ground. But that's how close it was. Again, I tried to play another link shot here, just little pitching wedge, just try and run it up. And again, I've just misplayed it. I'm just overthinking it. I haven't played links golf in a long time. 58 degree, played nicely, but weren't really going to get it close from there. This leaves me with about 8 foot for my par, which on a par 5, you want to be trying to take advantage of those a little bit more. And it was a misread. It wasn't a particularly bad putt, just didn't read it very well. And that one goes in off camera. So par 4 runs along down the main road. The bunker on the right doesn't come into play at all. So the landing area is narrow, but it's not got any other extra trouble around. There's a few precariously placed bunkers, and this green slopes heavily from back to front. So you need to make sure you leave it short of the flag to give yourself that chance for birdie. So the 3-wood choice again. You can see those cars and trucks in the background. They were noisy. It's just hugging the left-hand side. That's getting used to the camera work now, so I'm going in with a 7-iron here, just trying to punch it in. It's going to come off. It gets me to the back of the green. It went off a little bit quicker than I thought. So now I've got this treacherous downhill putt. And again, it's not a good read. Really got to work on my reading of putts. Again, rushing, not taking too much time. That is a good putt there. Now I've got this for my par. And this will show just how windy it was. It did go in, but yeah, it's the wind's blown my phone over, and yeah, facing the dirt. So the 9th is a long par 3, normally into the wind. And there's something interesting about the par 3s at Littlestone is they all face the 4 major points on the compass, so you're always going to have a different wind depending on what hole you're playing. So as you can see, a lot of bunkers surrounding it, and not much trouble over the back, but a triangle shaped green. And again, it means that the further back the pin goes, the tighter the landing area is. So another slow motion swing. I think I'm going with 4-iron here. It was well hit, I must say. I did hit this one nicely. Actually hit it straight through the wind. And not that you'll be able to tell from the next camera shot, I actually went quite a long way past. As you can see, I didn't get my camera angles right. But look at that sky. Might use this as a thumbnail for the video actually, it looks really good. So I putted this down about 4 feet. Just going to try and roll this one in for my par. And in she goes. On to the next. So the next is a relatively short par 4, depending on what wind you're playing, obviously. So there's a bunker on the left that does come into play. There is a little lake here on the right, which does definitely come into play with driver. And then massive hill that normally covers up the green so you can't see it. And square shaped green, again, meaning you've got to be on point with your yardage in. So another 2-iron off the tee. That's getting blown about in the wind. But I hit that awesome. and it's left me hardly any in because it was downwind. So I'm going in with a 58. Now I'm not playing links golf here, I'm just going to try and land this short and let it run. So I'm playing the golf that I'm used to, but just adapting it to links golf rather than try and change my club. And as you can see, it's worked quite well because I've got this much for my birdie. So just getting my ball out of the way so Dad can play his. First birdie of the day, very happy with that. The 11's a great hole, I love this one. It's got the ditch that runs diagonally across the hole in line with the fairway. So it's a slight dogleg left. Got to try and hit it onto the fairway. And obviously the more angle you take off, the more that ditch comes into play. If you bail out too much, you're in trouble on the right. Now there's a big slope in front of this green, so you can't actually see the green itself. You can see the flag, but you can't see the green itself. And a few bunkers on the left and right. So going with the 3-wood here. It's another beauty. Just a little draw. It's into the teeth of the wind again, so I've got a 8-iron in my hand here. I'm just going to play a chippy one. And played great. It was directly in line with the flag, but could have done with one more club. So I'm just on the fringe here. I'll try and putt this down. As I say, why break a habit of a lifetime and misread the putt? So got this one to save my par. Working hard for my pars today, but no issues there. So blind tee shot again. The 12th hole, there is a church or cathedral in the distance that you're supposed to aim at off the blue tees. We were playing off the whites, so I wasn't entirely sure on my line. There's fairway bunkers that do come into play, bunkers around the green. This one on the right hand side of the green I've been in many a time, and very, very slopey this green as well. Bit of a pattern starting to emerge as far as the greens are concerned. The hair is now officially long gone. I cannot save that at all. A great 2-iron here, and unfortunately, not knowing the line off the tee has resulted in the fairway bunker. And links bunkers tend to be very steep sloped, so you need to make sure you get this one right. And I have played it beautifully. Couldn't have played it any better if I tried. On the green here was the target. The flag was not important. As you can see, I'm a long way away. This one goes up and over a hill and then down as well to the right. And I've actually played a pretty good putt there. I've got a pretty much short putt for my par. Still need to mark it though, so it obviously wasn't that close. The scruffy sod here can't tuck his shirt in. In fairness, the wind and various things is blowing it out, which doesn't help, as well as the fact it's probably a little bit too short for me. 13th is a par 4. 409 yards off the backs. Bunker on the left does come into play. It's pretty much straight down into the teeth of the wind. Big slope here. Nothing really surrounding the green apart from the rough. Again, a lot of the greens here are sitting up slightly, so the slopes all the way into the second cut and even the longer stuff as well, depending on how wild you are. Another choice of 3-wood off the tee. This one's going left and I'm concerned. Just dragged straight across it, club face was closed, and yeah, this was a bit of a double cross. Lovely camera angle here. Soft focus. Just going in, pretty sure it was a 7-iron, again just trying to chip that through. I've leaked it out to the right though. Watching it intently, but I didn't make the green. You can see it's sort of sloped back on there. Got a long putt now. My dad actually holed one miles and miles where the bags are off camera, so I was hoping for a bit of inspiration, and I read it nicely, but didn't quite fall in. Par 3, 187, and normally playing downwind. Now, normally downwind you would think would be helpful. On this hole it certainly isn't, because you can't get it to stop. So bunkers everywhere, all sloping into them. You've basically got to hit it on the green. If you're not on the green, you've got quite difficult putt. On the right hand side it slopes away quite a lot and normally into the rubbish, leaving a very difficult up and down. So I'm going with a 5-iron, I think, here. No, won't be a 5-iron. Probably a 6-iron. I was trying to fade it in, just trying to add a bit more backspin onto it as well, but again it's gone dead straight left, meaning that I've got this long putt for my birdie, and I was scared of it. It's straight downhill and it's not really come back into play. Dad's finger in the way. And then I've got this for my par. So having been scared of the first putt, I wasn't going to be scared of this one. And it's just missed on the right hand side. 3-putt bogey, second of the day. Disappointing. Right, the 15th is a short par 4. You can cut the corner off with driver if you would like, but it's normally a little bit tricky. There's a bunker there as well, and the rough cuts in a lot more than you think. So the sensible play is to lay up down the right hand side, open up the green. And again, lots of slopes causing you problems, and that second cut is quite thick down there on the left hand side. Right hand side is where you look at it. So 2-iron for safety. And it's nutted, but on the wrong line. So I've hit it really good and end up in here. You can see I'm in that hole. I couldn't film my second shot. Look at the hair, crazy hair. I couldn't film the second shot because of the long rough, and you're not going to believe where it's finished. But it finished there. Promise you, I've got this for my birdie. Getting my full concentration. And in she rolls. 16th, I believe the hardest hole on the golf course. It's a par 4. It plays a hell of a long way at nearly 470. If you play this into the wind, which is normally the way you play it, you're looking at driver, 3-wood, and if you're lucky, you've only got a short club in, even though it's a par 4. So bunkers in the middle of the fairway, which, depending on the wind, don't come into play. And it's straight uphill to this green, which slopes from left to right. Luckily, the wind wasn't in too much of a danger today. So I just hit I hit a 4-iron here, I believe. And it was a decent 4-iron, but leaking down the right-hand side. Wind was left to right. And it's left me in this severe uphill slope. So uphill I couldn't keep hold of my finish position to look professional. And this was just a layup short. I knew I couldn't get there. So again, this is another one of my adapted links golf shots. So 58 degree, playing it normally, but trying to land it short of the green, let it run up. And it did do that, but ran on a lot further than I anticipated. See, I'm just eyeing it up and down. Leave me this one for my par. A par down this hole does feel like a birdie. So I'll take my bogey that feels like a par. Now if you didn't know quite how windy it was today, you'll see it in a second. So par 3, again I've hit anything from 52 degrees to driver in here, depending on the wind, and severely sloped from back to front. So if you don't get it right, you can roll back down well beyond those bunkers. And over the back isn't much more fun either. It runs all the way down and you've probably lost your ball from there. Yes, as I was saying, if you didn't realise how windy it was, look at all those white horses out there. Loads of them. So I'm going in with a wedge here. Just letting it ride off with the wind. And it bounced on the front edge of the green, even on that slope. Took a huge hop, nearly like it went in, left me just over the back, got this for birdie. Another poor read. You'd never think I was a member around here before, would you? So I've made a par there. Now the 18th is the final par 5, so I haven't had a par 5 since the front 9. Normally it's a welcome sight if you're trying to chase a score. Not hugely long, just under 500 yards. These bunkers come into play with driver, and then it leaves you a straightforward shot up to the green, which is slightly above your level when you're playing a second shot. You can see there's a couple of slopes here and there, and it all slopes over the back. There's bunkers left and right. It's actually a difficult approach. Treating you to another slow-mo here. And I've hit an absolute stunner in there. It's playing a nice penetrating fade. Again, I could have taken it a lot more left than I did. I'm in that right hand side. Sorry about the lizard you can hear in the background. So yeah, going in here with a 8-iron, just trying to bounce it up. But leaked it out to the right. It's left me with this absolutely terrifying shot. The worst place you can probably hit it, and the pin's in that position. I'm just going to slow it down to show you how high I've had to hit this. It's a shame I didn't record it in slow motion. It would have been a bit more smooth. Where's it gone? It's still not coming down. And now it's coming down. So that just shows how high and short I've had to hit this. And I really couldn't have played it any better if I tried. And this was as close as I could have got it. So I've gone from, you know, trying to really focus on my getting a birdie to just trying my hardest to hole it. And same old for the day. Didn't hole the putt.
Okay, so if you're going to go and play Littlestone, make sure you wear a cap because you won't be able to keep your hair looking as good as this after playing 18 holes. So, what a great day. I can't explain just how much I enjoyed it. It was great to go down there. The course was in fantastic condition and the club were very hospitable towards us. You know, I managed to get courtesy as a PGA Pro and they were great. Even down to the beer in the bar afterwards, it was reasonably priced and tasted delicious. So Littlestone get top marks for that. As far as my golf is concerned, I'll put my scorecard here. And after a pretty lousy start, I managed to sort of steady the ship quite nicely and hit a lot of good shots. You guys might have noticed I didn't play driver today. Well, when I recorded that. In this vlog, I didn't play driver at all, and that's just due to me playing a previous vlog at Red Livets and I wasn't playing very well. All my bad shots were caused by a bad drive, so I just wanted to use 2-iron and 3-wood basically just to try and keep the ball in play, because a Littlestone, if you get it wrong, you're in some deep bund, as you would have seen today, and I'm sure I would have been in there a lot more often if I'd used driver. So it was a beautiful day. Even when it comes down to what the club could do better, they couldn't. Even the things they couldn't control, like the weather and, you know, the nice quiet golf course we got to play today, that was out of their control. Everything was perfect. You know, the sky, you can see some of the shots, and I think I've spoken about it already. The sky was nice bright blue. Yeah, it was windy, but that's links golf. That's its defence. Can't do anything about that. Greens were perfect. They rolled beautifully. And for a summer's day out, I can't express how good it was. The thing I really like about Littlestone as a golf course is that most links golf courses are kind of blind, kind of tricky, and you have to really know your way around them. Littlestone's one of those golf courses you can rock up and play and see where you're going, and it's not going to trip you up like maybe Royal St Portswood or St George's definitely does, because I've only played it once and I struggled. And it's just one of those golf courses that's beautifully maintained. It's really friendly. It's a touch of history every time you go there, and I recommend anyone, if they're down on the Kent coast anywhere, make sure you go and grab a game down there. Book in advance. It can get booked up quite a lot. There are certain times that you can only play 2 balls, so foursomes or, you know, 2 players essentially. But they have increased a lot more 4-ball available times, so make sure you check out their website for that. The digital flyovers on this vlog, huge thanks to Hole-in-One Golf. They do a lot of these for a lot of top golf clubs. Absolutely fantastic, and I think it's given this vlog an extra dimension that it wouldn't ordinarily have. So make sure you guys check them out as well. Finally, just before I sign off, Andrew Jones, thank you very much for allowing me to come down and play. As always, you've been extremely hospitable, and the course is in great nick, so very, very good job. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like the video, please hit like, subscribe to my YouTube channel for all the latest video updates, and follow me on all our other social media platforms. Thanks very much.